Hey everyone, it's Kaycienikole, and today we're going to go through a full lead Hatha yoga class. And today we're going to focus specifically on some balancing work, okay? Might just throw in some good outer hips in there as well and some nice shoulder opening. I have 2 blocks here suggested for practice. We'll see what we end up using. But let's go ahead and start off in a comfortable seated position. As you come to your seat, let's cross the right leg in front of the left leg. And as you cross the legs, close your eyes and just kind of circle around a little bit through the hips until you feel the connecting point of your sits bones. And from there, press them down and lift your spine up nice and tall. Try to stack the shoulders right over the hip line. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears, pull them back, and then let them drape down heavy away from the ears. Hands joined together at your heart center. And just take a moment here. We're going to set an intention and then we're going to drop into our breath. So set an intention, anything that feels good for you today. It can be a positive thought, it can be an affirmation, or something that you want to work towards or dedicate your practice to. Just come into that space here. And then when you're ready, let your hands drop down onto your lap in any comfortable way. No need to overthink it. Let it feel just easy, organic. And we're going to drop into our bodies through the breath. So first breath is just going to be a nice clearing breath. So start with a slow inhale from wherever you are. Lift the breath all the way up and just kind of stretch open through the body. And then open up the mouth and exhale, let it out. Again, slow breath in. This time, we're going to keep the breath through the nose as you lift the top of the breath. And just as slowly, exhale, empty out through the nose from the top all the way down through the belly. Again, slow inhale, fill up all the way into your belly. Feel your rib cage expand. Feel your chest expand, your upper back. Holding briefly. And then through the nose, slowly start to melt the breath all the way back out. Now relax some effort over your breathing here. Let it become a little more natural. In and out of the nose. And through this practice, we're going to come into Ujjayi breath, victorious breath, which is that slight constriction down the back of the throat. Let your breath become more audible, more full of sensation and depth. And using this victorious breath work to guide us through our practice and to connect us and circulate some of this energy. Let's take a few more breaths here and just let your mind empty out. All the happenings of your day, release any expectations, release any judgments, release, and just allow full presence and experience the moment as it unfolds. Stay true to those intentions. All right, let's go ahead and blink open through the eyes. And we're going to start by just finding some circular motions through our upper body. So just kind of take your body, let's start with clockwise. And just start to rock your body around in this clockwise rotation. Okay, and then sway yourself all the way back up to center, nice and tall, hands cup over the knees. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, chin to your chest, tail tucks under, round your back. Think cat pose. Inhale, scoop your heart forward and up. Start to lift up through your chest. Sit bones drawing back. And then exhale, rounding, chin to your chest, curl the spine, tuck the tail. Inhale, open. And just start to move on your own from one to the next and just feel kind of this flow of breath and motion. Just about one more here. And then find your way back into a nice neutral positioning. Drop back onto the hands, uncross the legs, and as the feet rest, rock the knees from side to side. Okay, this time we're going to sit up and we're going to bring our left leg in front. So as we take the left leg in front, we find this nice cross-leg seated position. Let's first start by just stacking the spine up nice and tall, just like we did before, drawing up through the crown. Feel the shoulders pull forward, lifting up. And then exhale, relax them all the way back and melt them down. One more time, roll the shoulders forward, roll them up, roll them back, and then all the way down. So now we're going to start to rotate the body in that opposite. So find that counterclockwise rotation. I almost went in the same direction. So try to find the opposite direction than when you went last time. And notice any differences between left and right side. If there's any little snags or catches. Coming back to center point, same thing. This time we're going to add on, let's interlace our fingers, flip the palms down and forward all the way up overhead as best as you can. Really lift your shoulder blades up towards the ears here initially. Let's take another breath. Now bending the elbows, take the hands, cup them behind the head. Elbows open up nice and wide. Let's inhale. Lift up through your ribs and chest. Feel your head fall back into your hands, sit bones drawing back. And then exhale, round your back, chin to your chest, tail tucks, and feel your elbows fall in towards either side of the face. Inhale, lift the spine, open up through the chest, elbows open wide. And then exhale, rounding, curling in. Go ahead and take one more full round on your own. And as you come back up into a neutral spine on your next inhale, separate the fingers, pull the elbows wide, and release your arms all the way down to your sides. Roll the shoulders forward and up. And exhale, roll them all the way back and down. Let's drop back onto the hands, uncross the legs, windshield wiper a little bit here, side to side. And then we'll come into a tabletop position. So as you come into tabletop, just begin to stack your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees right underneath the hips. And then from here, we're going to walk the knees and the feet together and tuck the toes. As you tuck the toes, let's walk the hands towards the knees and just let your hips start to sink towards the heels. Maybe they sink a little, maybe they sink a lot. You can stay with your hands down, or for more intensity, walk the hands all the way up into the lap and let your full body weight just settle down onto your feet. Or if it's too much, take the hands down at any point. Couple more breaths. All right. Now from here, fingers to the ground. We're going to lift the knees off of the ground. Now we're going to balance a little bit on our balls of feet and toes. Walk the fingertips in or take blocks underneath the hands if needed. One hand to heart center. Lift the spine. See if we can bring both hands to heart center. Feel the stabilizing muscles. Spine up nice and tall. One more breath. Lower the hands down to the ground. Slowly lower the knees. Walk the hands forward. Untuck the toes. Create a little fist with your toes and just tap them down here. Nice. Okay. So from this position, we're going to walk the knees back just a little bit. So we have this widened stance for our tabletop. And then we're going to slide the right knee towards your right wrist and swivel the right foot in front of the hips. So we're not going to sink into a full pigeon, but we are going to become more active in our outer hips here. So from this shape, right foot swivels in the front. You're going to walk up onto your fingertips or take your hands up onto blocks. Press your front leg down and press your back leg down. So as you press your legs down, you're going to naturally feel your hips lift up a little bit. Now, as you do, hands can stay on the ground or you can walk them up. If your legs are pressing down, equally, I want you to pull the legs towards each other. So you're drawing everything in towards the midline. Holding here for 3, nice and active in your legs. 2, 1, slowly release your hands down. Now you're gonna swivel the right foot back and step the knee back. So you're still in this kind of long tabletop position where the knees are behind the hips. Other side, left knee pulls forward directly behind the left wrist and just swivel the foot in front of the hips as much as you'd like. Now press down through your front leg and through your back leg. Hands can stay on the ground, maybe come up on your fingertips or blocks. Maybe lift the hands all the way up. As your legs press down, magnetize them towards each other. Squeeze the front leg back and the back leg forward. Feel the activation in your hips for 3, 2, 1, and then lower the hands down, swivel your left foot back, and then bring it back. Feel free to take a child's pose or shake it out in any way that feels good for you here. Okay, we're going to find our way back into a seat here briefly. We're going to use some of that activation and we're going to play with some kind of changing up our leg variations. So back to the right leg, crossing in front of the left leg here. Press your legs down into the ground. So if you're just crisscross where your feet angle back, see if you can bring your feet just a little more forward, away from the hips. And that way, when you press down into your legs, you feel more of a foundation to press down into them. So as your legs press down, inhale your spine up, take your fingers, reach them back, but hover them away from the ground. What's really going to be important here is that we keep the spine long, not curled, okay? Spine up. Imagine a metal rod for a spine. Deep breath in, and then exhale, hinging forward with that rod of a spine, and then press your legs into the ground. Press the legs, lengthen out through the chest, hinge as much as you can, maybe give a little side to side movement if it feels good. Take a couple deep breaths. Then inhale, come all the way up. Now from here, if you need to touch the hands down for stability, you're more than welcome to, but use them only as much as you need to. Otherwise, hover them, lean back, switch the crossing of your legs, left leg in front. Same thing, maybe walk the feet a little more forward so you get a little more power in your legs and hips. Fingers sweep back, hovering away from the ground. Inhale, lift your spine, keep it nice and tall. Exhale, hinging forward with a flat back. Find your edge, press the legs down into the ground, especially as you near that edge. Maybe give a little side to side movement, but try to keep the spine extended. If you're swaying, come back to center. Inhale, come all the way up. Now from here, once again, you can use the hands as much as needed. Lean back, uncross the legs. We're going to open them wide and set them down. Okay, use your hands as you'd like. Now from here, you can adjust, kind of pull the flesh back from underneath your sit bones. Arms reach up when you're ready. Take a deep breath in, lift your spine. Now exhale, sweep the fingers back, but keep the spine tall as you hinge forward. Press your legs into the ground. Keep the quads active. Hinge as much as you can. Maybe give some side to side movements here. One more breath. Sway back to center. Inhale, come all the way up. Lean back. Right leg crosses in front of the left. Inhale, lift tall through the spine. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, lift the spine. Lean back. Exhale, switch the crossing of the legs. Left in front of the right. Inhale, chest up, fingers hover. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lean back, open up the legs, set them down. Inhale, spine up, sit bones draw back. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale up. And then from here, hands hold the backs of the knees, bring the feet in, drop back, and just windshield wiper here, a little side to side. Let's sweep the legs around again, come into your tabletop position, and from here, downward facing dog, lift the hips up and back, and just start to pedal your legs out a little bit here. Start to shift and adjust in the body. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, looking forward. Tippy toe your way to the top of the mat. Landing in a forward fold position at the front. Generous bend in the knees. Let the head drop heavy. Take an extra breath here. Just let your lower back decompress. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Draw the heart forward. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing flat back. Reach all the way up. Feel the arms reach. Open up the heart space. And then join your hands together, heart center. Inhale, the arms sweep up high. And exhale, forward fold. Come all the way down towards the ground. Bend the knees as much as you'd like to. Inhale, halfway lift position. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, drop the knees, tabletop. From tabletop, slowly lower the forearms down to the ground. Walk the knees back and melt the hips down. This is about as close to a vinyasa as we'll get here. Pull the ground towards you. Feel the ribs pull forward and the heart lifting up, getting that nice opening through the spine and through the front of your chest. We are going to take this into a nice outer shoulder and arm stretch. So relax a little bit here. Cross your right arm in front of the left arm, fingers pointing away from each other, and just begin to walk the hands out off the sides until you find the level of depth that feels right for you, where your shoulders can lower down at the same time. You can always drop your head here if that feels good. Otherwise, just a couple more breaths. Okay, stay with me here. If your elbows are crossed, otherwise stay where you are, or if your elbows have crossed past each other, I want you to keep the elbows crossed and try to bring the elbows in until the backs of the hands can touch and the elbows are kind of stacked over each other. Okay, so this is eagle arms, backs of the hands, or weave the front of the palms to touch. Press into the elbows and imagine pulling the elbows back as you draw your ribs and heart forward. One more breath. Relax if you have it, and then walk the elbows back. Okay, we're going to go right into that other side. Left forearm in front of the right, palms down, and then walking the hands off to the sides until you feel your edge or your depth here. Head can always drop heavy. Slow your breath down. Few more here. So if your elbows have not crossed each other, stay as you are. Otherwise, if they have, you're going to slowly bring the forearms towards each other, walk the elbows in if needed. Either backs of the hands touch or weave that right hand around and maybe the front of the palms touch. If they are, press your elbows down, pull your elbows back, heart forward. One more breath. Release. Open up the arms, walk the elbows back out, and just drop let's drop the arms down to the sides and just let one side of your face drop to the mat. Maybe shimmy through the hips a little bit. Drop the head to the opposite side. Head back to center. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift up into whatever version of cobra feels good for you. Let's hold here another deep breath. And then pulling back onto the knees, tabletop position. Walk the knees in if needed. Quick little cat pose. Round your back. Tuck your chin, tuck your tail. Re-neutralizing the spine. Now from here, extend your right leg back and open that right foot 90 degrees. Now, as you do, if you want to have more of a challenge, keep your left leg exactly where it is so that your left foot is pointing towards your right foot. But if you want more of a kickstand for support, you can take the left foot and kickstand it out to the side as much as you'd like, okay? Open up the ribs and chest. Right arm reaches up. Okay, so if your toes are pointing towards your right foot, it's going to be harder because you're not going to have anything to lean back and rest into. Find the appropriate amount of kickstand that you'd like. Come up onto your right toes, find a focal point. Try to hover your right foot above the ground. Breath. So we're in kind of a modified half moon. One more here. Right foot slowly touches down. Take the right hand down. Swivel everything back to center. Knees to the floor. Okay, let's do the other side. Left leg stretches back. Open that left foot. And then right foot can stay, or you can kickstand it back behind you. Your choice. Open up your ribs and chest. Left hand reaches up nice and high. Now find your stability. Core engages. And start to lift your left foot up away from the ground as much as you can. Connect to the stabilizing muscles within the body. One more breath. Lower the foot, lower the hands, swivel everything to center, knees to the ground. Let's tuck the toes and make our way into downward facing dog. And let's just walk our hands all the way to the back of the mat. So we have plenty of space in front of us here. Halfway lift, take a deep breath in, draw the heart forward, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reaching up, open up the chest at the top, and then join the hands together, heart center. All right, find a focal point in front of you. We're going to do our little, I call them my high heel walks. We're going to strengthen in through the arches of the feet. So as you find a focal point, hands to heart, begin to lift your heels off the ground. And then open the arms out to the sides, directly out to the sides. Use the arms and the core for stability and balance. It's okay to lose your balance. Imagine you have those imaginary high heels on. Right foot steps forward, just slightly. Start to shift weight forward into your right foot. Feel your back foot start to get light. Maybe it hovers. And then taking a step forward with your left foot with control. Transfer weight into your left foot. Right foot gets light. And once it's light enough, step it forward with control. One foot in front of the other. Just go nice and slow here on your own. Try to feel as much control as possible until you're all the way at the top of the mat. And then drop your heels, drop your arms, roll the shoulders out a little bit here. Okay, optional blocks for this next one, having blocks in front of you, especially if your hamstrings are tight, can be really nice to have these. Okay, we're going to start by crossing left leg over the right leg, squaring off through the hips. Inhale, the arms reach up tall, lift your spine, and exhale, hinging forward. Hands can come to your legs, your blocks, or down to the ground. Feel that stretch all the way down the right side of your leg. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can bend your front knee so all the weight sinks into your back leg. You can also take it deeper by walking your hands to the left side, letting your hips swing to the right side a little bit, and then fold in a little closer. One more breath. If you walked over to the side, bring it back to center and reground through both of your feet. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Hold here on the exhale. See if you can take your hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to a standing position. Now, you're going to feel weight shift into your back leg. Hands at heart center. Find a focal point. Start to lift your left heel, coming up onto the toes, and then float the left knee towards the chest. Start to open the knee to the side, and either take tree pose by connecting the foot to your standing leg without using the hands, or cross your ankle over your right thigh and take a seat. Sink your hips back and down. Your choice. Tree pose or figure four. Our hands can stay at heart, or you can extend the arms from either position. It's your choice. 2 more breaths. Slowly stand. Feel the knee lift towards the chest, and just set your left foot down. Let's shake out those legs. Okay, so we're going to keep the blocks in front of us. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Take your hands to the blocks here. Inhale, lengthen your spine. We're going to take a big step back with the left foot. Okay. Now, as you do, we're going to take the back foot to a 45-degree angle. So if you need to step it in a little bit, you can. But rather than having the feet on a tight rope, I want you to separate them a little bit wider towards the sides of the mat until your feet are hips width apart. Back foot is grounded. And then we're going to keep both legs straight. Okay. Left hand to the block right below your left shoulder. So adjust it as needed. Right hand to your waist. Long spine. Take a deep breath in. Really feel the right hip pulling back. And then exhale, open up your ribs and chest to the right side. You should not only just feel a twist, but you should really feel that opening through the outside of that right leg and hip. Maybe the right arm reaches up. You can also flip your front palm, your top palm back, and drop the arm into your lower back for a half bind. 2 more breaths. If you're bound, arm reaches up, flip the palm back around, and then take the hand down. Let's step forward with the left foot, shake out the legs. You can set the blocks forward, long spine, take a deep breath in, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to standing, reaching up tall, and join the hands together, heart center. Okay, now let's go ahead and feel the right leg cross in front of the left. Okay, so you're crossing the legs, squaring the hips here. Now, arms reach up, deep breath in, and exhale, hinging forward. Hands can drop to your legs, your blocks, or to the ground. Same thing as we did before, but now feeling the differences between your sides. Stay as you are, or bend your front knee, lifting the heel off the ground. Feel the heaviness in your back leg. If you want a little bit more, walk your hands to the right side, hips swing to the left, and then fold in. Another breath here. If the hands walk to the side, bring them back to center. Reground through your feet. Long spine, inhale. Hold on your exhale and try to take hands to your waist. Strong core, inhale, come all the way up. Now, stay as you are, hands to heart center. Find a focal point. Feel the weight shift into your back leg, your left leg. Lift your right heel, come up onto the toes, stabilize here. When you're ready, right knee can lift towards the chest. Open the knee out to the side. And then same option. If you want to take tree pose without using the hands, just connect the foot to the leg. Otherwise, figure four, cross the ankle over left thigh and sink the hips back and down. Arms can extend if you want them to. Let's take a couple more breaths. Inhale, coming all the way up, knee to chest. And then set the foot down, shake out those legs. Whew. Okay, arms reach up, deep inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Grab your blocks and step back with your right foot. Okay, so same thing. Let's first separate the feet about hips width apart instead of your tightrope. And then back foot grounds down to a 45-degree angle, still able to square the hips forward. Straighten out both of the legs. Right hand to the block underneath the right shoulder. Left hand to your left hip. Pull the left hip back so the hips are nice and squared here. Inhale, long spine, draw the heart forward. And then exhale, press into that bottom hand, open up your ribs and chest to that left side. Really feel the left hip drawing back, getting that nice opening. Maybe the left arm up. Maybe flip the palm back and drop it into a half bound position. Couple more deep breaths. If you are bound, reach the hand up, flip the palm back around, and exhale, take the hand down, bend the knees, step forward, set the blocks off to the side for now. Shake everything out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing, reaching up tall. Open up the chest. And then take your hands, bring them together at heart center. Okay. So we are going to do a standing balancing here for eagle pose. Now with eagle pose, I'm going to give plenty of room to stop in different variations. So just listen to your bodies. Okay. So first, I'm going to break down with the arms. Okay. Let's take the right arm over the chest and use your left hand to hook underneath and pull it in. Option to stay here, or hook your left arm underneath, hooking the elbows. Okay. If you have the elbows hooked, you can bend the elbows back to the hands together or front of the palms weave together. Okay. Now bend the knees, and actually I'll still stay facing you here. As you bend the knees, weight shifts into your right leg. Lift your left knee, cross it over. Your toes can touch to the ground like a little kickstand. Maybe hover the foot, maybe squeeze it in. Maybe the toes curl behind the back of your right calf muscle and then sink into it. Wherever you are, give yourself 3 deep breaths. Slowly stand, knee to chest. Set the foot down, release the arms, shake it out, roll the shoulders here. Okay. Now left arm is going to cross over the chest, right arm pulls it in. Same thing, stay here or hook your right elbow underneath. If both elbows are hooked, bend the elbows, backs of hands touch or front of palms touch. Okay. Weight into the left leg, bend the knees, lift the right leg up and over. Use the toes like a kickstand, hover, squeeze them in, or wrap the toes around the calf muscle if that's available. Knees squeeze towards each other. If elbows are hooked, elbows squeeze towards each other. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Standing up, uncross the legs with control. Release the arms, roll the shoulders, shake it out. Arms reach up, deep breath in. And then exhale, forward fold all the way down. Long spine, inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Plant the hands, step back, drop the knees. Sink the hips towards the heels and just relax your spine. Relax your head. Maybe open up the mouth and relax out a deep sigh. We're going to be here for a few moments. So just let your breath start to rest back down into a nice, easy rhythm and pace. Slow the heart rate. One more breath here. Okay. We're going to slowly make our way up into a seat. You can swing the legs around. Now, we will take a block with us down onto our backs, but that we'll use the block in a later variation. We're going to do some hip opening first. So I'm going to show you real quick as you're seated upright, and that way you know what variations you can kind of take once we're on our back. Otherwise, it can get a little confusing sometimes. So I'll show you first. First option will be figure 4, ankle crossed over, and we just hug in the opposite leg, okay, while keeping the hips on the ground. That's a great opening for that outer hip. If you want a deeper stretch, we're going to cross the leg over, okay, until your thighs are stacked instead of just your ankle, your thighs. And then if you're going to take this variation, same thing, knees lift up, hands cup over the knees, pulling in here. That's fine. If you want more, hands can walk down to the shins, ankles, or even the feet. And if you want to deepen the angle, open up the feet to the sides, flex the ankles, and you can draw in from here. But regardless of the variation, make sure your hips stay on the ground. They're not curling off the floor, okay? So go ahead and come down onto your back. Take a block with you so it's there whenever we need it. And once you're on your back, bend the knees, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and either stick with this variation, hugging your left knee in here, or slide the right leg over until the thighs stack. Knees to chest, hands cup over the knees. Maybe walk hands down to shins, ankles, or feet, whatever is available. If you want to widen the angle of the hips, separate the feet to the sides, flex the ankles, and just feel the weight of them drawing in. Close your eyes, and even if you are using your arms to kind of pull, try to relax them, even just a little bit. 5 slow breaths. Last deepened breath here. Gently release whatever you're holding on to. Let your left foot touch to the ground. Uncross your legs and windshield wiper your knees from side to side, or shake it out however you want to. All right, when you're ready, let's start with crossing left ankle over the right thigh. Stay here or slide it over until your thighs stack. Knees to chest, hands can cup knees, shins, ankles, feet, whatever you'd like. Maybe open up the feet to the sides, flex through the ankles, and just feel the legs sinking heavy down in towards your chest. Soften the muscles of your face. Soften some of the muscles in your arms and shoulders. And just feel the depth of your breath, moving it wherever you need it to go within the body. Let's take about 5 or so slowed down breaths here. Last one. Gently release. Let your right foot touch the ground. Uncross your legs and just sway them side to side. So we did a lot of outer hip focus. So we're going to kind of relax open through our inner hips and our groin. Let's extend both legs up towards the ceiling. And as you extend the legs up, let's point through the toes. Legs are active, begin to let them open up wide into a nice wide straddle. And as they open into this wide straddle, your hands can hold the outer legs for support if that feels better. You can even wrap the hands through the insides of the thighs. Take it to whatever variation you would like. Keep reaching out through the toes. Give yourself a few breaths. Hands come to the outsides of the knees. Help to push them back towards each other. Bend the knees to the chest. We're going to come into happy baby. Reach through the insides of the legs. Try to grab the feet and angle the soles of the feet towards the ceiling if possible. Otherwise, you can hold on to your ankles, your shins, or your thighs. Wherever you are, close your eyes and just sway yourself a little bit here from side to side. Feel that gentle opening, getting that opposite opening through the insides that might feel a little bit tighter. And as you rock side to side, each time you go to the right, see if you can angle your feet to the right side, maybe kick through your right leg straight, and then rebend, bring it back to center. And as you lean to the left, try to kick your left leg out straight, pulling the right foot in. And just kind of play with some dynamic movement side to side. Take about another round on your own. Then as you bring it back to center, release the feet or legs, hug the knees into your chest, and then set the feet to the ground. Shake out your legs however you'd like to here. Take a few breaths. Okay, we're going to reach over for our block. We're going to take a back bend here, supported bridge pose. My favorite way to end a practice, especially if we had some heat and intensity. But if you would prefer to take an active bridge, you can do that as many times as you want through the duration that we're holding this posture, okay? Hips lift up, take your block at whatever height helps you to fill the space between the back of your hips and the ground. Maybe adjust it so it's a little higher or lower and play with the sensations until you feel the most accommodating variation for yourself. Once you find the space, just let your lower back relax. Let your entire pelvis just feel held. And then all of that lower back tension, pressure, and compression that we feel day in and day out, just feel it slowly trickle outward, relaxing down into the ground. Arms can fall into any comfortable shape of your choosing. And just feel yourself relax here. Feel yourself fully let go. If it feels good to stretch the legs long, you can do that as well. Just make sure it doesn't pinch in your lower back, that everything still feels really good. About 5 slowed down breaths. Or once again, if you want the active variations, you can take that here as well. One more breath. And then slowly rebend the knees if the legs are extended. And then we're going to adjust the block if you need to for stability, but we're going to keep it underneath the hips. Legs extend towards the ceiling. And as you extend them up, we're just going to play with the feet a little bit, especially as we did a lot of balance work on them today. So flex your ankles, toes pull back. And then keep your ankles flexed, but create a fist with your toes. Only your toes change. And then extend your ankles. Don't change your ankles, pull your toes back. Let's go through that one more time. Bend your ankles, full flexion. Keep the ankles bent, curl your toes into a fist. And then extend your ankles. Keep your ankles straight, pull your toes back. And then relax, just rotate in both directions, big circles in your ankles. And then bend the knees 1 foot at a time, set the feet to the ground. Lift the hips, remove the block out from underneath you. And as you rest back down, just go ahead and rock the knees side to side. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open out gently to the sides. And you can rest in any position you want, but I'm going to offer left hand over your heart and right hand over your belly. And just start to feel yourself slow down with your breath. Feel that rhythmic rise and fall of your breath below your hand. Feel your breath start to slow down as you concentrate on this wave-like motion and breath. Feel gravity just melting open through the inner hips without force. Just a full surrender. Take a few more breaths here before we move into a slightly different variation from here. Okay. Now, if you need to come out of this leg positioning, you can. Otherwise, pull your left knee up and in towards the chest. Use your hands to draw it in. And then hold the knee with your right hand, left arm to the side. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, twist. You're going to pull the knee across the body to the right and down while keeping your left shoulder blade pinned to the floor. You can let your head roll to the left if you'd like here. And just give yourself about 5 slow breaths and just let your spine gently unwind here. All that last hiding tension in your body just starts to surface and melt outwardly, feeling more still, more calm, and more relaxed in your body. Now, as the head rolls back up to center, one more breath. Let the knee gently draw back up, and then set the leg back into that half butterfly position. Or if you changed your legs, you can take it into whatever position feels best. Right knee starts to lift up and in towards the chest, using your hands to pull it in. Feel that nice opening into the hips. And then inhale, hold the knee with your left hand. Right arm is going to fall to the side. Exhale, twist. Pull the knee to the left and down. Maybe the head rolls off to the right side. Right shoulder stays rooted into the floor. Once again, about 5 slow breaths here. Take your time. Just try to soften, relax, unwind. Okay, one more breath here. Head to center. Lift your knee back up to center. And let's hug both knees into your chest. Lift your head up towards your knees. Squeeze in nice and tight. And then we're going to release into our final resting posture, Shavasana, taking the legs and the arms out away from the midline of your body. Let them spill off of the edges. So you're allowing yourself to fully take up space. Feel the softness of your eyes draping back into the sockets, unhinging through your jaw. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths to help us fully drop in. If you'd prefer to have blocks underneath the backs of your knees or any other comfortable positioning that helps you rest, you can take that in lieu of, okay? So as we prepare for the breaths, let's exhale, let everything out. Take a slow inhale, fill up the entire body from the bottom to the top and all the way around the sides, fully expansive and open as we hold. And then open up the mouth and let everything go. Two more. Slow inhale, take your time, gradually fill up, expand all directions, filling up, holding at the top. Open up the mouth and release. Last one, slow breath in, slowest and deepest breath of this entire practice. Once you've come to the very top of the breath, see if you can sip in a little more air. And then just open up your mouth and release it all the way out. Letting go of your breath, letting go of your body, letting go of any effort or control. Let your mind empty out, pouring out all the distractions out into the distance. And then just feel that deep level of still that you've created. And for the next few minutes, just let yourself fully be absorbed into this space, regardless of your distractions. Choose to let them go and settle in more deeply. Begin to slowly deepen your breath. And spend the next 5 or so breaths just starting to bring little bits of movement back into your body in the way that you want. Move however you'd like. Move with intention and mindfulness. And when you're ready, knees to the chest, and sway yourself over to either side, fetal position. Use your top hand to press into the floor. Guide yourself all the way up into a seated position. Closing the eyes, spine lifts, shoulders up, back, and down. Draw your hands together at your heart center. Take a moment to just come back to your intentional space. Thank your bodies for all that they do for you, and thank you for allowing me to be your guide today. Much gratitude. Thank you, thank you. You can open up your eyes whenever you're ready. So added a little bit more intensity into the practice today. I hope your bodies are loving it. As always, I appreciate the support that you give, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I am looking forward to having you again soon. Thank you.